Hello. All right. That was a really good video earlier tonight, like a half an hour ago, and I had a lot of fun making it. So I thought I would make a part two. So if anyone's curious, just like my technique is just very just like what is it? I would do it in public speaking all the time. It's just like just whatever that saying is, just like go with it or go with the flow or whatever, or winging it. That's what I always do. All right, so I have a couple thoughts that I want to like speak on, and like all of it goes away when I turn on the camera, and I want to talk about like lighthearted stuff. So I don't really know what to do, but so overall, I guess like the all encompassing sort of like theme in John's life is just like stoner stuff. Just because I think that's so American, and it's like so intermingled in our culture, like even the language and how we what words we choose to use like in everyday conversating. Like you can totally talk with anyone if you just like think about that, I think. Okay. So I didn't have a smoke before this video, so keep that in mind. So I'm in here in my room with my dog. The other dog is like breastfeeding, so uh and then like I was just okay, so the overall like theme of this video is just like, oh, I just want to get to know you guys, and like here's a little bit about me, and like give a little to get a little, and like I just maybe I'm speaking to like people before us, but like, does John think about the same stuff I think about, like in high school or like now? Because I think I'm a very like John type of person. Like, I'm very normal. I'm like default, standard, just like boring in general type of like John. It's like an in joke with like Johns. It's just like who's the most John like in the world, who's just so boring and eats like crackers with no salt, who has a white room like a hospital, So it's just like an in joke with people named John. So I know there's just so many things we're all interested in. Like I have like three thoughts going on all the time. So it's hard to pick one, but I guess what I want to talk about is just like my thoughts, cuz like that's what I'm interested in all the time about myself, is like the stuff I'm thinking about and the stuff that keeps me like sane. Um so I was kind of thinking about like the whole ghetto thing. I said something earlier today that I can't stop thinking about. It's say a lot that, cause it's so funny. Like being like that is just like homegirl, or just like, oh, she's like a homie. She's like that, like type of like female. So I was just kind of thinking about that. I don't know. Leave it in the comments if you guys feel that way about that word. And I have a big mouth. I was comparing Survivor UK to the first season of ours, just a little bit. I don't know why. I already know why, just because. And then I was thinking a lot about. I saw it the other day in a video thumbnail, but office politics. Like, I'm not trying to like Survivor, like strategy, but sometimes I don't say words that are like important to me. Like when I was trying to like shake off my depression, I kept on saying depresso espresso because I didn't want to say depression because it would make me feel sad or whatever. So I just wouldn't say it in my head. And like important words that I don't want like my enemy to know I'm thinking, I just like don't say it in my head. I don't know if anyone else is like that. Um, but yeah, I just want to keep on saying it, like office politics. So this is very like Survivor. So like people is like, so John, like you don't really post like what you would do if you were ever to make it on the actual show. To be honest, I don't think about it at all. Like Survivor is just a show to me. I'm not a, what is the word they use? I'm not a super fan. The stuff I like, I don't like too much. Just cause like I don't want to get over it. Um, and I know it sounds so insane and like everyone's heard it, but I think be yourself is like so key in like life. Just cause like if you're okay, like, and I'll use me as an example. Like be yourself for me on the show would just be like I don't have like any sort of pre-planned sort of strategy, you know, like I just don't think about it beforehand, and I'm very like off the cuff or like winging it like all the time. And like social interactions I don't think about. um it took me a while to do the whole motor mouth thing that I do. It's like from a Genesis game. It was like Ace Bat or something. It was this like it was like this like Bandicoot or something, and he kept on saying motor mouth, motor mouth, motor mouth, and like that screamed so very American to me. Is just like keep the conversation going, keep talking, you know. So Japanese people think that over talking is a negative, but in America, you know, like talk is money. You know, talking can make you money, I think. And like the more you know, the more you speak. You know, I don't really do the whole Chinese Confucius thing where like um only a fool like talks too much. I just don't believe that shit, to be honest. No offense. I think I'm very American, and like I think talk is money, you know, and money talks. So I just it took me a while to kind of grow into that, to be honest, like into my 20s, to actually I think working at Chipotle really helped cuz like it was serving customer after customer and I had to keep talking the whole day like nonstop cuz our store was that busy. Like it was a line of customers, and if you really like service work, you should definitely look into working at Chipotle because it's very popular. Um, and if you just want to work on your service skills and like people skills, but yeah, I think never ending talking is always a good thing in any situation. If I'm like dying of thirst, like I'll probably just like keep talking to like God or something, you know? And I was thinking about it, and might be a little bit too serious, but I notice some contestants ignore Jeff, the host, and yeah, I say his name, and when Jeff asks them, "Do you want to keep immunity?" sometimes they do this like mentally incompetent thing where they just gesture a no instead of saying no or saying anything, and I think that's such like a lose to just ignore Jeff. He's giving you like the spotlight and he's giving you your turn to talk, and you just like disregard his like gesture with a gesture, and it's so stupid. Like, I don't even want to explain it. Like, if like your mom's cooking in the background, she would never know what the person like did with immunity. So I just think that's such a lose. Like when people do that, and I noticed Matthew did that, and Dara, of course. And I don't really like that for some reason. I just don't. I think gesturing instead of speaking is such a lose. I think if given the opportunity to speak, I think you should always take that chance. Even if it's just nothing, at least you're talking and like you're eating up all the airtime. And I love fast food. I love McDonald's. Like, that's like my dream job. And Ray Kroc is like my hero, or like one of my heroes. And I'll talk about that later, but like, I just fell in love with like fast food customer service. I don't know why. I just love talking to customers. I love seeing random people. I love seeing repeat offenders. It was so fun. And I noticed the other kids didn't really like the front line just because they had to talk to people and they were bad at English, but I loved it. I don't get scared of like people because people are just people. Like, no one cares about anything, and like all you have to do is just like take a shower and just go to work. You know what I mean? It was so much fun, and I learned a lot about myself. Like, I learned that I can like talk to someone, like a therapist. And like it was fun coming up with like different lines, like different ways to say hello. And my go-to was always hey, how are you? I would just always say that, and I thought repetition is so life. Like, repetition is such a part of life that I love repeating my lines. Like, never got tired of saying, hey, how are you? Or whatever. I never got tired of the food items, names, or people's names. Never got tired. Colleen is not tired, and I'm not, no. So, video games, I still am into, and Survivor, I still love. I don't know why. It's like I've seen every season multiple times, and I still think the same girls are cute. I still like the same people. I still hate the same 5 people. Like, it just never changed. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna give for now on like Survivor, but there's more, but you have to tune in. Yeah, I mean, I hate people too sometimes. I think that's normal. to not like someone because they're like annoying you. I think that's normal, and the show would never work if everybody was loved. I'm sure they pick people who are annoying people to teach kids like people are annoying in life, and this is how you deal with them. You just have to sit through their bull, and just play it through to the end. They will lose, and you can take what you want with it. You can be happy, you can just be glad they're gone, you can just ignore the whole season. I love Survivor because there's so many seasons. Right now, for US, I'm watching Thailand again. And I'm watching it without my glasses and contacts because I've always wanted to do that because this season is so bright and like yellow and like sunny and like gold that it helps me see. Um, and I asked my doctor, I was like, so am I ill because of my nearsightedness? And she was like, no, but I still think maybe. I think it's a huge deal in my life, like being nearsighted, and it affects me daily. Um, and then, yeah, I was thinking about some other stuff, but I don't think it's appropriate for the internet. Because it's like, kind of like, I feel like I'm serving too much tea, sis. I've found out I'm that type of person, you know what I mean? Like, I just know too much about ill. Like, I never noticed it about myself, but I just know too much about the streets. I know too much about how people work. Um, I can just read a person from like their eyelash curl, and like not offended by anyone. One, I don't care if I lose. I don't care if I win. I just don't care, and like I love certain slangular right now are in, but serving the tea is pretty funny, sis. I never knew I was like that. Now, and maybe I'll get into my street work, like sometimes, but I can't let too much of that shown it, you know what I mean? Or else people would be like, ooh, you too ghetto. I'm offended. Like, I feel unsafe, and then I get canceled for being too, like, incoherent or something. No, because I got a hard time from my people, like, growing up, because they thought I was such a fake ass person. Because, like, I had some people living in the house before, like, couple cousins and stuff, so they would see me at home, but they would also see me out, when I leave the house or come back home. And I always got the feeling that they thought I was fake as fuck. Because, like, I would just have this, like, sort of preppy, sort of lot look. And, like, I would be a total different way with my parentals versus with them. You know what I mean? And I just thought or felt like they thought I was, like, fake as hell. And, like, to be honest, sis, that's how you got to be, like, out your house. Like, why would you walk outside? Like, why would you bust out your house, like, looking like a creep or like a freaking weirdo? Um, why would you say certain words to people? Like, you gotta, like, do the thing, you know what I mean? You just gotta be a certain way and act right a certain way. Like, in society, because like that's just what you gotta do to do you know. And then like ooh, John's gonna say a race, but like so people is like, so is you more Asian ghetto or is you more like black ghetto? And then I'm like, um the ghetto's a ghetto, you know, like I don't really care. To be honest, if I had to pick one, I would say I'm more like Hispanic or like Latino type, a lot bodega, but I mean, my people's my people. I don't really care. Street thugs is just we, is us. You know, we don't care about race. We don't care about, like, I was gonna say earlier, like, I'm sure I've met a few white dudes who have something, but I just don't care about that. Like, as long as you're a cool person and you're nice to talk to and you know your stuff about smoking, I do not care about you, your life, your mom, your girlfriend. I just don't care. You know? Um, and then like we just use each other for that moment, you know, like I'm probably never gonna see you after this house party. We're just here. Let's just like make use of this time, have fun. It's the 60s. We're in a commune, running around naked, you know, like let's just have fun in this moment, dude, and then just like smoke and you know, you can do whatever you want to do. You can like think about stuff, or you can just forget it and be like, that was a bad toss, or be like, that was so poignant and like introspective. John, who's so stupid, and he's like, but it's John. Why would I like think about stuff he said? Um, or girls are always just like, who is you? And I'm like, hi, I'm your friend, the cherub. And then there's like, okay, Final Fantasy. And then I'm like, yeah. No, that was stupid. I don't even know what that was. But it's like, Stoner is just like random. Just like, what are you reading? Or like, what are you thinking about right now when you're like not saying it? Type of stuff. But yeah. So back to like the thing. It was like, is he more Asian ghetto or is he more black ghetto? And I already said my answer. I'm not like a Riri. But I don't like leaving white people out of it too. Like I've seen poor whites neighborhoods and it's like you're in Kansas or something, my man. Like it's a totally different country. Like poor whites neighborhood. It's a little bit sketch. I wouldn't go there like voluntarily, but if I'm just there in the hood, like, you know, I don't care. People is people, you know. I'm not scared of your white truck. You know what I mean? No, I'm cool with everyone. Like, I don't like saying singling out like what singling out like people, but like I'm cool with everyone. I don't leave people out of the conversation. You know, never had a problem with race. I never think about it at the same time. I just don't care. And like I don't really think about it at the same time. And then people's like, so you say I don't care a lot, like what do you care about? And then like Survivor and video games, and then they're like, okay, but politically, and then I'm like, what? I'm a minority. I don't talk about politics. Um, that's not my scene or agenda. Um, and then I wanted to like spill the tea so bad. So like, white girls like, oh my god, there's this like Asian in the office, and I have no idea how to like deal with it. And then I'm like, girl, let me tell you what's up, how to deal with that bullshit. Like, I don't know, just bring up money, because that always works. Just say it one day, just like, so like, oh, like I went to the bank or something. No, honestly, like, Asians is not a threat to anyone. But if you do feel like weirded out by us because we're like cute. Like, don't be, because like, um, Asian moms is cool, you know. And but if you're serious, like, I would just ignore that person and just have them come up to your desk and just act totally chill. um, I think ignoring is so smart, like in life, because growing up in SF, like, you just ignore all the weirdos and all the crackheads. You just learn to ignore weird people. So, like, ignoring works. Just ignore people. And, like, if you find that hard to do, learn how to do it. Like, in Persona, is like Yuki ignores Demon. You know what I mean? And it always pops up a tarot card, you know? Ignoring Demon always works. Um, if you feel like ignoring is unfair, well, it's a word, you know what I mean? Ignoring is ignoring, is just a fact. You know, people ignore people all the time. Um, I've been ignored, you know? It's pretty fun being ignored. You just get more time to yourself and you, like, have a thought, you know? It's cool. Like, if you hate load times, like, it's a fun way to, like, get a thought in on the game. You know, if you have ADD crisis, you know, thoughts are fun. um, yeah. To be honest, I want to speak for like 2 hours because I'm just like non-stop. So like I'll just end this video with just like, I hope you like the content. If you like just me as a personality, or if you like the way I talk, because I'm kind of like ghetto or like whatever you feel, then just subscribe, hit that like button. I've always wanted to say that. Um, and yeah. So that's it. Here, let me just talk for like a minute because it's gonna end. College was fun because it was like, because we have an airport in San Francisco, so it's like a major city, even though it feels like a small city. Oh my god, I was burped while I was talking. Isn't that so embarrassing? Oh, what Robin said was, imperfection is not God, you know? It's just not God, you know?